Imagine this. It's the end of the month, your fridge is nearly empty, and your budget even emptier. You go to the pantry only to find half the food you forgot about is already expired. Into the trash it goes, along with your hard-earned dollars. For retirees living on a fixed income, parents trying to feed a growing family, or students juggling rent and ramen noodles, wasting food isn't just frustrating, it's financially painful. But what if you could stock your pantry with food that literally never expires? We're not talking about good for a couple years, we mean decades. In some cases, forever. The truth is there are everyday foods, cheap, practical, and widely available, that can last 20, 30, even 50 years. Or longer. These foods don't need fancy fridges or high-end vacuum sealers. Just smart storage and a little know-how. In this video, we're diving into 11 of the best foods to stockpile that don't go bad. These items are perfect for families on a tight grocery budget, people prepping for emergencies, or anyone just tired of tossing expired food. Some of these might already be in your home. Others, you'll want to grab them the next time you're at Walmart, Aldi, Sam's, or Costco. Let's start building your zero-waste, zero-regret pantry, one smart food at a time. When it comes to budget-friendly foods that never let you down, white rice is king. It's cheap, filling, and if stored right, can last for over 30 years. Yes, 3 decades. Unlike brown rice, which contains natural oils that spoil over time, white rice is milled and polished. That means the parts of the grain that go rancid, like the bran and germ, are removed. What's left is a low-moisture, shelf-stable starch that doesn't attract bacteria or mold. For families with growing kids, white rice is a game changer. It's incredibly versatile. You can stretch it into stir-fries, soups, casseroles, or just serve it with a little salt and butter. Retirees love it too, especially when paired with canned or frozen veggies for simple, low-cost meals. And students? Let's be real. Nothing beats a $10 bag of rice that feeds you for weeks. To make rice last decades, all you need is a cool, dry space, and ideally Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. But even if you just store it in airtight containers, it'll still last many, many years without issue. White rice isn't flashy, it's not trendy, but it's dependable, cheap, and practically immortal. These 3 pantry staples don't just make your food taste better, they're practically invincible. Salt, sugar, and honey have been used for thousands of years, and when stored properly, they'll outlive us all. Let's start with salt. It's not just a seasoning, it's a natural preservative. Salt draws moisture out of food and bacteria, creating an environment where spoilage simply can't happen. That's why it was used for centuries to preserve meat and fish before refrigeration existed. And because salt is a mineral, it doesn't spoil. Ever. Keep it dry, and it's good forever. Sugar works a little differently, but with the same effect. It has very low water content, which means bacteria and mold can't grow. Even if your sugar hardens or clumps over time, it's still perfectly safe to eat. A quick bash with a spoon or a short spin in the food processor, and it's good as new. And then there's honey, nature's miracle food. Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs, still edible after 3,000 years. Honey has natural antibacterial properties, a low pH, and almost zero moisture. If it crystallizes, just warm it up and stir. Good as ever. For any household, these 3 ingredients are pantry gold. They're affordable, incredibly useful, and totally shelf-stable. Stock them once, and you may never need to buy them again. Fresh produce is great until it goes bad in 5 days and ends up in the trash. That's where canned fruits and vegetables come in. These aren't just backup options. They're nutrient-packed, shelf-stable essentials. Canned produce may have a best-by date printed on the label, but that's about quality, not safety. In reality, if the can is sealed, undamaged, and stored in a cool, dry place, its contents can last years, sometimes decades, past the printed date. Think of the can as a mini time capsule for nutrition. For families with kids who don't always eat their greens, canned corn, peas, or peaches offer an easy solution. They're quick to prepare, mix well with rice or pasta, and require zero chopping. Retirees appreciate them for the convenience and reliability. No need to rush to the store during a storm or emergency. Worried about cost? You can often grab store-brand cans for under $1 each. Add a few to every grocery run, and over time you'll build a solid reserve of fiber, vitamins, and peace of mind. Pro tip: always inspect cans before using. If they're bulging, dented near the seal, or rusted, skip them. But otherwise, pop the lid, heat it up, and enjoy produce that's just as nutritious as it was when packed. It's cheap, it's kid-approved, it cooks fast. And best of all, pasta can last up to 30 years when stored the right way. Most store-bought pasta comes with an expiration date of 1 or 2 years, but that's only because of packaging and moisture exposure. In reality, dry pasta is made from durum wheat, a hard wheat with low moisture and high protein. That combo makes it extremely shelf-stable. For families feeding multiple mouths, pasta is a lifesaver. You can stretch a single box into several meals with just a jar of sauce or a handful of canned vegetables. For college students or people cooking in tight spaces, pasta is a reliable go-to, quick, cheap, and filling. And for seniors, it's an easy-to-digest comfort food that doesn't require fancy prep. To make your pasta stash last for decades, remove it from its original cardboard box and store it in airtight containers or Mylar bags. Add oxygen absorbers and keep it in a cool, dark pantry. Done. Spaghetti, macaroni, penne, whatever your style, pasta is an ideal survival staple. You won't just be surviving, you'll be eating well when times get tough. If white rice is the king of cheap carbs, then beans are the queen of budget protein. And together, they're the ultimate survival combo. Dried beans, like black beans, pinto, navy, or kidney, can last up to 30 years if stored correctly. Even after that, they're still safe to eat, though they may take longer to cook. Beans are naturally low in moisture and highly resistant to bacteria and pests when kept in airtight containers. For households cutting back on expensive meats, beans are a lifesaver. They're rich in protein, fiber, and essential minerals, which makes them incredibly satisfying and nutritious. Parents love them because they fill up hungry kids without breaking the bank. Retirees and students appreciate their versatility. Toss them in soups, stews, salads, or mash them into burritos and wraps. Unlike canned beans, which expire faster and take up more space, dry beans are lightweight, space-efficient, and last decades. Store them in food-grade buckets or Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and you've got yourself a protein reserve that rivals canned meat for a fraction of the cost. Beans might be humble, but in a long-term pantry, they're nothing short of heroic. Fresh milk is great until it spoils after a week and stinks up your fridge. That's why powdered milk deserves a permanent spot in your long-term pantry. With proper storage, it can last 20 years or more, making it a dependable dairy backup for anyone on a tight budget. For families with kids who eat cereal or need milk for baking, powdered milk is a lifesaver when the real stuff runs out. It's also a smart solution for retirees who don't drive or shop often, and for students in dorm rooms with limited fridge space. Nutritionally, powdered milk offers calcium, protein, and vitamins, everything regular milk does. It's great for recipes like pancakes, muffins, sauces, and more. And while it might not taste exactly like fresh milk when mixed with water, it gets the job done in a pinch. To maximize shelf life, store it in Mylar bags or vacuum-sealed containers, and keep it in a cool, dry place away from sunlight. That simple step will keep your milk supply safe for decades. Powdered milk isn't fancy, but when the power's out or money's tight, you'll be glad it's there, quietly waiting on the shelf, ready to rescue breakfast. Meat is often the most expensive part of any grocery bill. But what if you could buy it once and not worry about it expiring for years? That's the beauty of canned meat. Whether it's chicken, tuna, beef, spam, or corned beef, canned meats are sealed in airtight containers and cooked at high temperatures. killing off bacteria and sealing in freshness. As long as the can remains undamaged, the contents can remain safe to eat for a decade or more, even long past the printed date. This is a big win for busy families and retirees. There's no need to thaw, marinate, or cook for hours. Just open, heat, and serve. Canned meat adds essential protein to any pantry meal, especially when combined with rice, beans, or pasta. Worried about space or cost? Buy store-brand canned meat in bulk when it's on sale and rotate stock slowly. You don't need a full bunker. Just a few cans here and there can build up a strong reserve. Before using, always check for dents, rust, or bulging lids. But otherwise, these cans are survival gold. They're simple, filling, and shelf-stable, and they'll be there when you need them most. Few foods check as many boxes as rolled oats. They're cheap, nutritious, easy to store, and incredibly long-lasting, up to 25-30 years when stored properly. Oats are naturally low in moisture, which makes them resistant to mold and spoilage. They're also full of fiber, vitamins, and slow-digesting carbs, which help you feel full longer. That's why they're a favorite among frugal families, retirees watching their cholesterol, and students trying to stretch every dollar. Beyond oatmeal, you can use rolled oats in cookies, granola bars, pancakes, muffins, and even meatloaf. Their versatility is what makes them so pantry-friendly. To maximize their shelf life, store oats in Mylar bags or airtight containers, ideally with oxygen absorbers. Keep them in a cool, dry location like a basement pantry or kitchen cupboard, and they'll be good for decades. Let's face it, boxed cereal gets stale, and fresh breakfast foods go bad fast. But a stash of rolled oats? That's reliable, comforting, and budget-proof. You might not think of alcohol as a food storage essential, but it's one of the most versatile and long-lasting items you can keep on hand. Certain types like vodka, whiskey, rum, and other distilled spirits can last indefinitely if the bottle is sealed and stored properly. Yes, alcohol can be used for an occasional drink to calm the nerves, but that's just the beginning. In emergencies, alcohol becomes a multi-purpose tool. It can be used as a disinfectant, antiseptic, fire starter, or even as a bartering item if supply chains break down. For people with limited budgets, alcohol may seem like a luxury, but one or two inexpensive bottles of high-proof liquor can provide peace of mind far beyond recreational use. Unlike wine or beer, which degrade over time, spirits like vodka and rum stay stable for decades. Keep bottles tightly sealed, away from light and heat. No refrigeration needed. It just sits on the shelf, waiting. Quietly useful. Whether you drink it or not, alcohol earns a place in any long-term storage plan. It's compact, potent, and priceless when you need it most. Let's be honest. Survival food can get boring fast. Beans, rice, and oats, they are filling, sure, but without flavor? It's a tough sell. That's where dried spices come in. Whether it's garlic powder, chili flakes, cumin, cinnamon, or Italian seasoning, dried spices can take basic ingredients and turn them into meals you actually want to eat. And here's the best part. When kept sealed in a cool, dry place, many spices can last 4-10 years, and some even longer. They may lose a bit of potency over time, but they won't go bad in the traditional sense. No mold, no spoilage, just a slow fade in flavor. But even then, a little extra sprinkle can bring the taste right back to life. Dried spices are also incredibly cheap when bought in bulk or at discount stores. For under $10, you can build a basic spice kit that lasts for years and drastically improves the taste of your long-term pantry meals. Don't underestimate the power of flavor, especially during stressful times. A bit of seasoning can make even the most basic dish feel comforting and familiar. When everything feels uncertain, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is start your day with something familiar, like a hot cup of coffee. That's where instant coffee becomes more than just a beverage. It's a mental survival tool. Instant coffee is freeze-dried or spray-dried, meaning it has an extremely low moisture content. When stored in a sealed container and kept away from heat and humidity, it can last 20 years or more. In some cases, indefinitely. For retirees, a warm cup in the morning is a daily ritual. For busy parents, it's fuel for the case. For students, it's late night study ammo. No matter the scenario, coffee brings a sense of normalcy, comfort, and energy, especially when times are tough. The best part? Instant coffee is compact, affordable, and easy to store. You don't need filters, machines, or even a kitchen. Just hot water and a spoon. It may seem like a luxury, but when everything around you feels uncertain, something as simple as a familiar taste can make a big difference. So go ahead, add that jar of instant coffee to your pantry. It might just save your morning one day. There you have it, 11 foods that never expire or come pretty darn close. These aren't fancy superfoods or expensive specialty items. They're simple, affordable, and easy to find at your regular grocery stores like Walmart, Aldi, Sam's, or Costco. Whether you're living on Social Security, raising a busy family, or just trying to stay ahead of rising grocery prices, building a pantry with foods that don't spoil is one of the smartest financial moves you can make. Think about it. No more throwing away spoiled produce. No more emergency runs to the store. No more wasted money on food you never got to eat. Instead, you'll have peace of mind knowing that your pantry is stocked with long-lasting, budget-friendly essentials, ready whenever you need them. And don't feel like you need to buy it all at once. Start small. Pick 2 or 3 items from this list that your household already uses. Add them to your grocery list. Over time, you'll build a stash that doesn't just save you money, it gives you confidence. If you found this list helpful, let us know in the comments. What's one shelf-stable food you always keep in your pantry? We'd love to hear what you're stocking up on. Until next time, shop smart, store smart, and stay prepared.